The recently discovered bridge between the religion of Sumer and the Hittite kingdom in Anatolia is identified as the Hurrians, also known as the Hurrites in the Old Testament, meaning free people. They held dominance in the region between Sumer and Akkad in Mesopotamia and the Hittite kingdom in Anatolia. The Hurrians' influence extends from the ancient cedar lands in the north to the oil fields in Iraq in the east, and the Mediterranean coast in the west, encompassing trade centers like Carchemish and Alak. The heartland of the Hurrians, known biblically as Naharaim, or between the two rivers, included their ancient capital on the Kabur River, which has yet to be discovered, and the trading center Haran on the Malik River, where Abraham's family sojourned on their journey from Ur to Canaan. Egyptian and Mesopotamian documents referred to the Hurrian kingdom as Mitanni, recognizing it as a strong power with influence beyond its immediate borders. The Hittites called their Hurrian neighbors Huri, a term that some scholars suggest could also be read as Har, potentially linking it to the name Ar or Aryans. The Hurrians were undeniably of Aryan or Indo-European origin, as evidenced by their inscriptions invoking Vedic deities, kings with Indo-European names, and military terminology derived from the Indo-European. Scholars such as B. Rosny even referred to the Hurrians as the oldest Hindus. Culturally and religiously, the Hurrians significantly influenced the Hittites, with Hittite mythological texts and epic tales of semi-divine heroes originating from Hurrian sources. The Hittites inherited their cosmology, myths, gods, and the pantheon of 12 from the Hurrians. A Hittite prayer demonstrates the triple connection between Aryan origins, Hittite worship, and Hurrian beliefs. The prayer addresses the goddess Hebat, Teshub's spouse, using Vedic Aryan names and emphasizing the goddess's different names in the Hatti lands and the Cedar lands.
O goddess of the rising disk of Arina, my lady, mistress of the Hatti lands, queen of heaven and earth. In the Hatti country, thy name is goddess of the rising disk of Arina, but in the land that thou madest, in the Cedar land, thou bearest the name Hebat.
Despite their arid origins, the culture and religion adopted and transmitted by the Hurrians were not strictly Indo-European. Their language exhibited Akkadian elements, and their capital's name, Washungi, had a Semitic variant. The gods Samash and Tashmetum were adapted as Shemiki and Tashimitesh in Hurrian culture. However, the Hurrians absorbed and transmitted the religion of Sumer, evident in the use of Sumerian divine names, epithets, and writing signs. The epic tales, dwelling places of olden gods, and even Hurrian art mirrored Sumerian culture, suggesting significant influence. The process of the Hurrians being mutated by the Sumerian gene likely occurred over centuries. Evidence suggests that the Hurrians and the Sumerians had commingled in the 3rd millennia BCE, during Sumer's last period of glory, the 3rd dynasty of Ur. Hurrians were present in Sumer, managing industries and holding important positions. By the 13th century BCE, under pressure from the migrations and invasions, the Hurrians retreated to the northeastern portion of their kingdom, establishing the kingdom of Urartu, or Ararat. They continued to worship the pantheon led by Teshub, with significant influence from Sumerian traditions. The Canaanites, residing in the lands that are now Israel, Lebanon, and southern Syria, played a crucial role in the transmission of cultural and religious tales to Greece. Recent discoveries of the ancient city of Ugarit, Ras Shamra on the Syrian coast provided significant insights into Canaanite language, literature, and religion. The Canaanite language, classified as West Semitic, is akin to the earliest Akkadian and present-day Hebrew. The Ugaritic texts revealed a pantheon that shares striking similarities with later Greek pantheons. At the summit of the Canaanite pantheon was El, a supreme deity whose attributes and role are reminiscent of the latter Greek Zeus. El was regarded as father of man, creator of things created, the bestower of kingship. El, depicted as an elderly deity, held remote abode at the headwater of the two rivers, the Tigris and Euphrates. While often portrayed as a sage deity, disinterested in daily affairs, El also had a dynamic aspect, particularly as the youthful Tor, or bull, emphasizing his sexual prowess. The principal son of El was Baal, a storm god associated with thunder, lightning, depicted wearing conical headdress adorned with horns. Baal's challenges to his father's authority were echoed in Greek myths as father-son conflicts. Baal struggled against his brother Yam, prince of the sea, and later against Mot, the smiter. Tales of Baal's temporary defeat and resurrection mirror the changing seasons, symbolizing the struggle between the dry summer and the reviving rainy season. Anat, Baal's sister, played a crucial role in the struggle against Mot, displaying parallels with Greek traditions where goddesses stood by supreme gods in their life and death struggles. Anat, described as the maiden Anat, engaged in various love affairs, including with her brother Baal. Canaanite traditions also featured a mother goddess named Asherah, the official consort of the chief deity, reminiscent of the Greek Hera. Astarte, known biblically as Ashtoreth, paralleled Aphrodite, and her frequent consort Athtar was associated with the bright planet and probably paralleled Ares, Aphrodite's brother. The Canaanite pantheon included young deities with Greek parallels and olden gods who intervened in critical decisions. The olden gods were depicted with commanding features and horned headgears. Where had the Canaanites, for their part, drawn their culture and religion? The gods of heaven and earth, revered by the Egyptians and shared by the Canaanites, had their origins in Sumer. The Sumerian influence on Egyptian culture is evidenced in their cosmogony, deities, and legendary tales. Ra, the chief deity in the Egyptian pantheon, who presided over an assembly of the gods numbering 12, was linked to Sumerian concepts. The Sumerian sexagesimal 60 and the divine number 12 played a significant role in Egyptian religious divisions and structures. Ptah, the Egyptian god credited with raising the land of Egypt, was considered a great god who came from elsewhere. The arrival of these olden gods is depicted in historic rock carvings showing horned deities arriving in Egypt by boat, possibly from the direction of Sumer. The only sea route leading to Egypt from the south is the Red Sea, and it's significant that the Egyptian name for it is the Sea of Ur. The Egyptian word for divine being or god, which was neter, meant one who watches. Significantly, that's exactly the meaning of the name of Sumer, the land of the ones who watch. The Canaanites, culturally connected to the Egyptians, also drew from Sumerian sources. Their cultural and religious affinities were influenced not only by their proximity to Egypt, but also by strong Semitic or Mesopotamian influences. The Amorites, residing in the western provinces of Sumer and Akkad, played a crucial role in transmitting Sumerian culture to the Canaanites. The center and capital city of the Amorites, Mari, revealed Sumerian influences in its temples, pantheon, and religious practices. Among the Amorites, the chief deity, Adad, the weather or storm god, had parallels with the Canaanite Baal. Other members of that pantheon include the moon god, Yura, or Nanar, Sin, and the sun god, Samash, further solidifying the cultural bridge between the lands of the eastern Mediterranean and Mesopotamia. The pantheon often included an inner circle of 12 deities, reflecting the Sumerian numerical and celestial divisions.